internet fans. It's your old pal Rottin Roger DeMarco.
And Evildeadinks.
And this is the Buddies Forever VCast. I'm going to get it right. I fucked up just a second. But yeah. The Buddies Forever VCast. And today we thought we would try something a little different. We're going to do a feature commentary on, what are we doing it on, Mr. Evil?
Wow. One in my favorites wheelhouse. A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Freddy's Revenge.
Yes. You want me to shut up? Fine. I'll shut up. So we were scheduled to hang out this weekend, but due to unforeseen events, we have to
bullshit.
We got to do this. So we figured, fuck it. We're still going to go on, go on with the show, even though we're both recovering from illnesses. And
we're both as shit. It's been a rough fucking week, and we are more or less using this, using the VCast as a crutch, as an excuse to watch a movie and fucking just bullshit and talk through the whole movie.
Yes, sir. So, before I get started, your notifications and everything are turned off.
Everything is turned off.
We are. See, we're fucking professionals, YouTube. We know what we're doing.
I've got the Fred Krueger koozie ready to go.
I have these fancy men behind the mask koozies.
I bet somebody really awesome was making those.
That's what I hear. That's what So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to count down, and we're both going to start the movie.
We're going to correct the thing that the Nerds of Nostalgia do. When they start a commentary on their podcast, they say, "All right, Lethal Weapon rules," but they always go 1, 2, 3, go. However, if you've watched Lethal Weapon 2, they have the discussion before they pull Murtaugh off that toilet. And it's 1, 2, 3, go, or 1, 2, 3. And they go 1, 2, 3.
All right.
So 3.
On 3, we will start, and you can follow along with our ridiculous shit-shooting methods. We're making shit up.
Our volume will be turned down relatively low. You might be able to hear it slightly, but probably not a great deal. But we don't need to be able to hear this than to be able to talk shit about this movie.
No, I'm gonna turn my subtitles on. I'm good.
All right. 1,
2, 3. Go.
My favorite New Line Cinema opening logo. I love that old logo.
Yeah, me too. It was like you were having a seizure. Yeah, it's hitting me in the face right now. You can tell.
Oh, I'm a second ahead of you then.
That's cool. I can hear it. That's all I need.
Can't hear it. Is mine too loud?
Little on the loud side, but you're good. So.
Don't mind me. There, adjusted. I should have adjusted that before we started. So
you're good.
There's professionalism still coming through. Still there.
Mr. Mark Patton, who we've had the pleasure of meeting numerous times, and the dude is a total class act. I've got to know him pretty well over the past 5 years-ish, something like that, right? Since we've been...
Yeah, I got to meet him for the first time in 2012 at a drive-in screening of this movie, and he is a Kansas City native, so him coming to town was the first real celebrity that I was like, oh my gosh, excited to meet, because this is my franchise, this is my bread and butter, and to be able to meet, it was him and Kim Myers were both in town, so I got to hang out with him. She looks exactly the same. She has not aged a day since this release.
So, a little bit of the backstory of this movie, for the people who don't frequent this franchise or have been living under a rock since 1985. You know,
or who don't just frequent this particular film because it's kind of the dark horse, or some call it the unicorn of the
right.
franchise.
That's where I was going with that. This is the I suppose it's highly regarded as the gayest horror film.
I think
in
several
history.
online posts have put up. I think maybe even Fangoria that it's the gayest horror film of all time.
And maybe that's just just sort of like the director and everybody who claim that it was subtext or whatever. Yeah. When I was a kid, it didn't read that way to me. Although the dance
didn't register.
The dance thing, I can remember being 8, 9, somewhere around there, and watching it, and like visibly, like it was uncomfortable for me. Like I'm like, I'm not, it's like when you're a kid and you get caught, you see boobs on TV or something for the first time.
I just thought that was something teenagers did.
Yeah, we all just. I can't tell you.
I guess I'll be doing that in like 10 years.
I did. I can't tell you how many times my mom busted in and I was, dancing on the bed, gyrating my hips like a fucking weirdo. It is important.
We're currently seeing a stunt driver in the school bus going off the rails.
And the Body Glove sponsorship, which was strewn about the first 3 films, I believe. Is there a small Body Glove thing in the third one somewhere? Or was it just the first 2?
I just know it from this one. I don't remember where a Body Glove thing is in 1 or 3.
1 is in Glenn's room. Small Body Glove thing somewhere. I'm pretty sure.
I'll have to rescour his room. I remember like Andre the Giant handprint. I always remember that on the wall more than anything.
A thing that
this is where we're at now, where all the rocks are falling out and the bus is stuck.
Yeah.
On that cliff. This is the first time I was able to appreciate Blu-ray because my VHS, everything in this film was dark because it was recorded off Cinemax, and when I got that Blu-ray. My God, it was like watching it for the first time. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that is fair. That Blu-ray is cleaned up so much better than... And right now I'm actually... I don't even have the Blu-ray in. I'm rocking the DVD. So this is not even... This is just the 720. And the Blu-ray looks so much better than even this. I mean, this is cleaned up tremendously, but...
Yeah, this is... I still want to put my VHS. I still have my VHS copy of Nightmare 2 next to the Blu-ray and just compare and contrast. It's like, oh gosh, because I used to not like this movie a great deal, and it was solely based on it because it was so fucking dark. I couldn't see anything.
Right, it suffers from AVP Requiem disease. It's filmed very dark. One of the things about this movie that I was thinking about earlier is how he bounces back and forth from having the glove to having just blades coming out of his hand. And I don't know whether that was a conscious choice. Like, why was that a thing? Why does sometimes he has the glove and sometimes sausage fingers?
I'm gonna say that because this is part 2, there was no set establishment of rules of like, these are the rules you must follow and the rules you cannot follow.
Yeah.
And I know the guy that was the writer, David Chaskin, which I know there's all kinds of bullshit with that dude, but he essentially wanted Freddy to have an avatar, a human avatar. So I always saw that as just the two of them just melding together.
Right.
Just in the hand and the glove. I mean, it didn't. I mean, I guess you couldn't really do anywhere else. It'd be kind of fucking weird if his hat was growing into his head, and
Yeah.
or Freddy rocking some of Jesse's awesome flannel shirts in this film, or that weird fucking like orderly's nightgown thing that he's wearing at one point when he is in the kitchen in the middle of the night. Looks like he stole it from like an operating room. Clu Gulager
steals the show in this movie, man. He has such a knack for playing a straight laced character.
Yeah.
And, you know, delivering just hilarious lines of dialogue. Just without even, you know, his comedic timing is so perfect.
Because he's not trying to be funny.
Right, exactly.
Right? I mean, relatively real. Up until, you know, all the way up until later when he's like taking the fire out of that toaster, and he's like, that's the strangest thing I've ever heard. And it's like, you had a bird explode in the living room. And that's the strangest thing that you've seen?
Goddamn cherry bomb, that's what it is.
This and Return of the Living Dead, man, he is just on fire with his fucking straightforward, straight-laced goofiness.
The deadly dinosaur.
I swear that's Nick Nolte's car from 48 Hours. He stole that from Nick Nolte's character. That's Jack Cade's ride.
I wonder if the deadly dinosaur has an IMDb page, because you may be right. What if it's like the dog from The Hidden, and you're absolutely right.
Cars are so like bought and sold and traded. That would be a stretch, but it'd be fucking hilarious.
You're like, I fucking told you.
Eddie Murphy's like, where'd you get this car, man? I bought it from some high school kid. I get attached to things, Reggie. Robert Ressler, this other like awesome part of this whole movie, is the best sideman in horror history, right there.
Yeah, and that's another thing I was gonna say. Like, their relationship, you know,
it's weird how it starts.
But I see a lot of you and me in that relationship. I see, like, you know, I feel like they're best friends. I feel like they bust each other's balls, and you know, like he's putting that snake on him in the class and stuff, and I'm like, that's only something like your like best dude, like your best friend would do to you. Like, otherwise you're getting in a fight after class, you know, and
pulling my fucking pants down the fucking baseball field.
Yeah, and I'm like, so I understand what people are getting at, but I'm also like, I don't know, we're like, you can be like that secure with like your best friend, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
only your best bud could you like lay your nuts on his shoulder and then look at him and be like, you're gay.
Yeah, you are. So yeah,
interesting punishment too, making him fucking just stand in the push-up position X amount of time.
Yeah, like you got to wonder, even if that was the last period of the day, you know, everyone has left. He's back in his office. What is it, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? They're still out there in like a plank position, just hating life, you know.
How long you think he'll keep us out here? Could be all night.
Gets his kicks off, or whatever he says. Gets his rocks off like this.
He likes pretty boys like you.
Nah, bro. Just making conversation.
Oh,
I really like that actress too, that plays Lisa. I think she does a good job of being not necessarily the final girl, because obviously Jessie is the final girl in this movie, but I like the relationship between the two of them, and I feel like she doesn't get a lot of credit because people are so focused on the relationship between Jessie and Grady.
She has to be the hero role at the end of the movie. She has to be essentially in the guy's role of going to save the damsel in distress, basically.
Yeah, with love. Spoiler alert.
Love. How long do you think he's been in this town? How new do you think he is to Elm Street?
Well, I mean, if they
Feels he
move
feels
there,
somewhat like he's been there long. He's been there long enough to kind of already have struck up a relationship with a girl.
yeah, but not long enough to unbox his belongings. You know,
That's just
A
him
week?
being rebellious. That's just him like, I'm not gonna. I don't want to conform, Dad.
2 weeks. 2
2
weeks
weeks?
in. 2 weeks in Springwood.
Already giving the rich girl, essentially. There's that fucking shirt right there, looking goofy. uh, Giving the rich girl a ride.
It is. It's like Scrubs. He's wearing Scrubs.
Yeah, I was always like that. What the hell is that? Who sleeps in something like that? I did always think this was probably like one of the creepiest parts is just seeing somebody you thought outside and then going around and like seeing somebody like you think you see someone in the basement moving around.
Yeah.
Like,
And yeah, I remember watching it when I was a kid, and especially when he's holding onto the doorknob, like screaming for his dad to come help.
Dad.
Dad! And just that feeling of like you can't do anything to stop it. It was the door was opening. You're toast. And then you turn around.
I need an adult.
Stranger danger.
Yeah, man, Mark is a super, super awesome guy. I've gotten to meet him several times since then, and actually there's a weird connection. Like, his niece is real good friends with Regina. And
I remember you saying something like that.
We found that out just in happenstance when they were in town in 2012.
That's crazy. Small world, And
When it's tied to my favorite Elm Street, like Initial 3 and like my franchise, and there's a tie from someone in that movie to me.
Yeah.
Again, stuff that's like would blow my mind if you were to do the time travel back to like 1989 and be like, you're going to meet several people from this franchise over the course of your life. How do you think that sounds?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When we went to Crypticon the first year, 2013 was our first year, and being from a small town, and being the guy with the Jason hat or the Leatherface shirt, I was always weird and had never been to a convention in my life. So going to a place like that and just realizing that there's a lot of people, fantastic contacts, and
like this, like the makeup, I was able to really just see it in all its glory from that Blu-ray. Like, it was just black.
Yeah.
On the VHS. Oh, I love it.
It's like slimy and yeah, like really like emaciated with the cheekbones and
tight muscle over bone structure.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a really nice look. The only real issue that I have with this movie is the whole bringing him into reality thing. That's the only part of the movie where I go, I don't like it. But
he really doesn't. It doesn't really tie into the nightmare part of it. Like, nightmares are kind of not really a part of the movie.
True. It's more of like a
understood like that. Like, I got to stay awake. Like, why? There's not really a whole lot established why you have to stay awake.
Yeah. This one was changing the rules up a bit, and like you said, he had to use somebody as a vessel to come back.
I feel it. I mean, it made sense to me. I was like, oh, he was killed for the second time in that house. Something of him resides in that house. So that house is haunted in a way. And so he's finding a way to manifest still, just with whoever managed to move into that house, and happened to be the cheapskate Clu Gulager.
Yeah, which, I mean, they ended up kind of revisiting that whole theory with Freddy in like Freddy versus Jason. You know, he had to create some sort of fear. He had to create some sort of like knowledge of his existence so he could come back. Because if no one gives a fuck, he can't do what he wants to do. So,
did you have I had not have it in any of my science classes, but did you ever have any science classes you had to dissect shit, or a science class that had a live snake in the room?
We never had a live snake, but we did have to cut up, I feel like it was like a lizard. Dude, it's been so long ago, but I do remember cutting something up. Maybe a frog. It might have been a frog. And yeah, you had to get out the heart and all this crap, which was basically like playing Operation, because when you're getting a heart out of a frog, it's like this fucking big. So.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a pool. These people are, and look at their yard. Kim Meyer's character is very well off.
Yeah,
why did she give him a ride from Jesse to get to school?
She thinks he's handsome, man. Isn't that enough?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're a kid, you're not thinking about the money.
No.
But, I mean, I guess they're not kids. They're seniors. Or
man, look
juniors.
You're fucking like sunburned too.
Yeah.
She been out there filming all day. And that couch.
They got outdoor couches. Oh, you mean the indoor couch?
The indoor couch.
Yeah, with the wooden. You can sit your drinks on there, but you better have a coaster. You know.
Oh yeah. And there's the fake bowl of fruit at Clue Gulliger's feet. Gosh, what does he do? They never established like what he does for a living.
I think he's a real estate guy, isn't he? Sort of, and that's why they.
I see him in that red and khaki. I feel like he's gonna work for like that Circuit Electronics place that Vince Vaughn works at in the old school.
Like Circuit City? Yeah.
Yeah, Circuit City.
I remember when those went out of business.
Yeah.
Take that, Dad. How you like that, Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are literally like a second and a half ahead of me.
Yep, not much.
Got that sweet baseball cap on.
This would be a cosplay I would love to fucking do, is to get that shirt, hat, and sunglasses.
Fucking lightning bolt things.
Yes. And with a fucking like a pop whistle thing, and just
It's so awkward. It's so embarrassing. You know, I mean, not because you're putting yourself in that position. You're putting yourself like you are that character, and it just feels.
I guarantee, not quite to that extent, but I guarantee I have those dance like no one is watching moments, because I know no one is watching.
Yeah.
But no out-of-town chicks.
Yep.
I do have his board game Probe when they're cleaning out the closet here in a second. I found that at a pawn shop for like $5.
Did you have him sign it last year?
I did not. I did not bring it with me. I couldn't remember where I put the damn thing. And now I have it. I know where it is. So when he comes back again, because I have nothing left for Mark Patton to sign. I've got like 8x10s, and there's that Probe right there. And he's like, "Did you play the game?" I was like, "It's a fun game." I'm like, "No," because I opened it and was like, "This looks complicated."
Yeah, I'm gonna put that back. That's like Hero's Quest or some shit. I'm gonna put that back. Don't want to.
Yeah, and I had Hero Quest. My
Me
God,
too.
it was so
Hard
bad.
as fuck.
Paying whatever that costs for me to be like, this looks cool, but I'm never gonna play this.
We played it like 3 times because you spend all that time setting up that board and you have a DM basically. You know, it's basically D&D, but then you have like 6 hit points. You get smacked twice and you're dead, and it's like, well, fuck, man, we just spent 4 hours putting all these cardboard sleeves into these door things, and
I like making the little chess pieces.
Yep.
Those were cool.
Do you know Mark Patton has I mean, you know this, but for the people who are watching who are new to, or don't keep up with this
We're
franchise.
getting an education in their Elm Street knowledge tonight.
Mark Patton has a documentary coming out called Scream Queen about being an openly gay actor and what it was like coming out and working on this film. And what'd you say? Sorry.
Hardships that he had to deal with, and essentially why he ended up going back, and he's living in Mexico now.
Right. And that is making a festival run, and it's getting ready to come out officially on DVD and Blu-ray.
I was not able at the time to be a backer on it. I wanted to be a backer so fucking bad, but it hit right at a time where I didn't have the money to do it. But I'm following him on he's been off and on Facebook, but he is fairly active on Instagram, on the Scream Queen doc on Instagram, and they posted today how they're doing some like pickup shots in New York today, actually. So they keep saying they're about done with it, and I'm like, come on,
I'm ready for it. It was like that.
Yeah,
I imagine it's gonna be like the Kane documentary. It's really gonna
hit heavy and hard.
Yeah, and it's gonna be it's gonna be fun and lighthearted, and then it's gonna hit you, and you're gonna be like, man, I mean, he's such a sweet person and such a a loving guy, and so I don't know that I personally am ready to hear mean things, mean things that happen to him. That's
he went into some of that when it was right at the beginning of making Scream Queen, like the filming. He was just getting started on it, and he brought Nightmare 2 back to Kansas City again. It was I think it was 2013 or 2014, but he brought it to the Tivoli Theater in town. We went. I got a heads up from the Nerds of Nostalgia guys that, hey, he's putting on a show here, and we ended up buying tickets. We got there, and they're like, oh, we had tickets for you. I'm like, oh, shit, I got to pay for this. I was like, Mark always is going to get my money. And he went into several of the stories that I hear him alluding to on the little clips that they put out on making of it. So I got a good preview of stuff to come.
Yeah.
The man himself.
Not last year, year before, when him and Felissa Rose were at Crypticon.
Yes.
We had to pick them up, so we were in the car with them, and Mark was telling some stories. Him and Felissa were just swapping stories and talking to us about where we're from and just fun stuff. But then the conversation got a little rough. He was talking about some stuff about the documentary, and it was upsetting. And it's he's one of those guys you want to like hug and be like, I wish I could do something. I don't know, kind of strange. Like
no,
that
I did
father.
This when he was in town. I was just at that Tivoli show, like after that show, the showing ended, and he was kind of in the lobby, and me and my wife were the ones that were just the hangers on in the group, like just like get my stuff signed, talk to them, let everyone else get their stuff signed, leave, and then still hang out and bullshit. And I even got a picture where I'm fucking holding him like this, like a bride over the threshold thing. And he remembers me every time I do see him. This will be whenever I catch him again, it'll be the fourth time, and he always remembers me. He never charges me anymore, even though I try to give him money for everything. He's always like, no, So I've reached that status level with Mark. Where he's like, no, your money's no good with me. I'm like, man, I got so much stuff signed by you. I got to give you more money. You deserve this.
Such a good dude.
Set the bar. He absolutely set the bar for everybody I ever met from there on. Like, you got to be Mark Patton cool to me.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's like Joe Lynch cool. He is definitely Joe Lynch cool.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of people are real like into Lisa's friend there. I never thought much of her.
Yeah, she's just yeah, you don't really think much of her, and then
She's all right.
she's
She was
she's
never
kind of
like,
the slutty girl at the party, essentially at the end. Then she'd
no.
take her top.
There is a girl at the party that I thought looked good, and I'll point her out when we get to that birthday party. The birthday
Yeah,
party, that is after party thing.
because doesn't uh doesn't that girl, doesn't she take her top off? She's making out with the dude in the pool. She takes the top
Yeah,
off. You got like the
just
side boob.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, you get more male nudity in this movie than you do female.
that's true.
Well, all the victims in the movie are guys.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Unless you count the girls at the very beginning. But they don't die.
No, that's just a nightmare.
You got 10
Just
dead
happens.
bodies. You have 10 dead bodies in this movie. And they are all male.
Dude, party who gets his fucking guts torn.
Help yourself, fucker.
I mean, it's not funny, but to me, it's funny because I'm like, I just put a whole backstory to that guy in my head of like, he's that dude who's like, man, I don't know if I want to go to this party, and someone's like, man, come on, it'll be fun, and he ends up going to the party
And dying.
like, he's holding his fucking stomach. And it's just all ripped over. He's like trying to put it back in. Oh, I knew I should have stayed home.
I always do that. I always think like you take any movie, take any like a Commando, take Commando, and then you got like the dude, like one of the henchmen that's on the roof. It's like Henchman 74. I always wanted to see like a VH1 like behind the music on like Henchman 74. It's like he gets up in the morning. He's got like 4 kids, and he's like, I gotta go to work. He's just, my job is to walk back and forth on top of this drug dealer's fucking roof with an Uzi, make sure nobody fucking shows up.
We just stack these watermelons in these crates right next to the chickens.
Yeah, like what is the backstory on some of these people? You got.
Spirit.
Now we're getting the Three Stooges, the Three Stooges effects fella.
Yeah.
Who had the fucking.
Best work I ever did was on the Three Stooges. I'm like, well, you're hired. You're going to be in charge of the exploding parrot
The
or the
attack.
lovebird. It's a lovebird. It's a lovebirds.
Yeah, but you said you smelled gas.
Which, why is he looking underneath the
range hood?
Yeah, the hood. Yeah, well, he's not. No gas there.
Nope. Have to
Like,
look.
that's just a fan and a light, right?
Well, it could have a gas line. We don't know. This was the 80s, man. It's probably.
I definitely feel with him doing all his home repairs, he would totally end up like Clark Griswold in Christmas Vacation, hanging Christmas lights and fucking just sliding off the roof. Yeah.
That's the movie I want to see. I want to see Nightmare on Elm Street 2.5, where it's fucking Christmas.
Yeah, Freddy's not even in the movie. It's just the nightmare of Clu Gulliger trying to hang Christmas decorations.
Yeah, just haphazardly hurting everyone in the house.
Setting fire to the Christmas tree. And
blowing up toasters and shit.
Zach called. Who's Zach?
I don't know who Zach is. Zach Morris.
He's trash.
That's what I hear. Also, the lightning striking the fucking sink or whatever. Like,
I feel like that's.
and he's just like,
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be a lot more freaked out by that.
Like, okay, lightning strikes the dish drainer. I better go to the gay bar. Like,
I'm just gonna hit the streets barefoot too.
yeah.
I mean, he absolutely no-sold that lightning strike into the house.
Yeah.
Like he just saw like, well, dishes are dirty.
Yeah. He just kind of...
Place. I wish Don's place was Jake's bar in part 3.
Oh, that'd be fucking super rad. All right, asshole.
Oh, there's a tie-in, like, oh, if they could just have Don.
I also want a standalone movie where it just is the secret life of Bob Shea. So it's like he has all of these jobs. He's just like a terrible, he's like the history teacher and also a bartender and also sells Greyhound tickets. And like,
he's the original Stan Lee, man.
Yeah, it's true. Lynn Shay is the original Stan Lee, man. She's in fucking every New Line movie ever. She is an Easter egg. That's what she is.
Yeah, she started out that way. Now she's big money.
Yeah, that's true.
That Insidious franchise made her huge. Before that, she was just, pouring a beer into a glass.
A dirty glass.
I never thought this was like, I never interpreted this as a gay bar either. When I was a kid, I was like, oh, that's just what a bar probably looks like.
Like a tough bar. People are wearing, leather, and you're like, I don't want to fuck with any of these people. It's not like it was the Blue Oyster from fucking Police Academy. That is very obviously a gay bar. You're like, oh, but that one, yeah, it could be either way.
And I went with the wife to several gay bars, and it is not that environment at all.
like the art gallery in fucking Valentine. It's not the same.
No, a gay bar is like the friendliest fucking place you'll ever be. There is never a fight that breaks out at a gay bar. A straight bar, you're going to guarantee a fight is going to break out every fucking...
Because people are douchebags, man.
Straight guys are douchebags.
Yeah.
Straight guys that are...
alcohol,
drinking tough guys who are afraid in a bar. And that would be its own movie now, is the coach that goes to the gay bar that brings the student back to school.
You gotta love Marshall Bell, man. He does
shit. Got Mark Patton, his lightning no sell has nothing on Marshall Bell here. No selling, these balls flying out at him. He doesn't chewing his gum.
Yeah, he's just chewing his gum.
Like there's some crazy shit going on.
Yeah, one of those things starts shaking, and I'm running. I'm gone. Out. Like I'm not hanging out.
Definitely back up. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah. Like
he's still chewing that gum.
He's looking at it like Ed Harris looks at the fucking tombstone in Creepshow. Mm-hmm.
Maybe if I don't move, it won't move.
Yeah. It's looking at me, Ray. Yeah, like tennis balls and stuff, I'm not going to have a problem with, but when dumbbells start flying at me, those could actually hurt you. That's when we're leaving.
I'll tie him up and drag him out.
Mm-hmm. No! I always thought this looked impressive. Like, the way that the ropes are pulling him.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure it was probably just like some sort of wire in it to make it look stiff or whatever. But
monofilament line.
Yeah, it's convincing still. And I think that's, with watching it on VHS or watching it on the DVD where the transfer isn't fantastic, it hides any of those imperfections.
The towels don't even they don't show. That first nightmare, you can see clear as day those monofilament lines when he's got those big ass arms extended.
Mm-hmm.
And I use that as my basis for taking the fear out of it for my kiddos.
Yep.
Like, that's scary. I'm like, nah, man, this is all make pretend. Look at it.
Yeah, it's like dryer. It's like dryer tubes and fishing line.
Yeah.
Plus this fake ass Freddy Krueger.
Oh, him and his walk.
The lumbering stunt man that they hired. Super glad that they looked at the dailies and they were like, somebody call Robert.
Pay that man what he wants.
You know, I mean, just like the Never Sleep Again, where he says, you know, he was feeling ownership of that role. So he knew that there could be no more movies without him. And he obviously deserved to be paid what he got paid. Because that right there, that 5 seconds on screen is proof that you can't just sit someone in a makeup chair and let them be Freddy Krueger. They're not a Michael Myers or a Jason, you know.
Yeah, there's a way to his movement. Mm-hmm. Everything he does and doesn't do, how he uses his whole body.
Yeah, his shoulder kind of slumped down.
And that crosswalk he has, like he's on a surfboard, and just everything of all of his subtle movements.
Mm-hmm. Because he's very, eccentric and like a wild, especially the older movies, you know, when he was younger. Really, he's such a good character actor, you know, and that's why I was telling you about that Phantom of the Opera movie. That you've got to see that.
I don't know why I still haven't.
He does such a good job of creating a whole new villain. I mean, The Mangler is not a great movie by any means, but you see, like, just behind all that makeup, obviously, he can do anything. He can be an 80-year-old man.
I love him in The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Yeah.
He's just a leather-clad, you know, killer.
Yeah, I like him in, Eaten Alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Buck, and he's here to fuck.
Yeah. Or that recently discovered gem of Never Too Young to Die. He's a Gene Simmons like right-hand man.
Is he really? See, we started watching that, but I think we got sidetracked. We went to the stock or something.
Yeah. I mean, he comes in like about halfway through it, but he's Gene Simmons like he's like his brains.
Oh, nice. Still have that curly mop.
Yeah.
Snyder got wasted last night, man.
Bloody foot everywhere. How does he know all this too?
It's like
they would not have that information. Would not be available for the high school students already.
It's like the kids in the kids in Scream knowing all the shit. Well, I guess that was that didn't happen in the school. Yeah.
Like that only probably just was discovered probably at most 2-3 hours before he got there.
Yeah, no kidding. Because someone had it, like the janitor came in and was like, Jesus Christ.
Somebody that came in, opened it up at 6 o'clock.
And it's fucking like Dick Miller.
Call those rinky-dink Springwood cops who
it was Dick
did
Miller,
not
dude.
Before, like, they picked up a naked kid the night before. He's just on drugs.
Yep, that's what it is. Last night, I tried to kill my sister.
We missed the scene, but I did ask him the first time I met him. I was like, any behind-the-scenes stories you could tell me? And the first thing he thought of was it was right there where he was brought home from the police. And he's like, that scene right there. I was like, I was drunk in that scene.
He was drunk for real?
Yeah, his I'm blanking on his mom's, like the actress's real name that plays his mom, but she was just, Barbara. He was just hanging with her, and she was just fucking giving him drink after drink after drink. So when they were shooting that scene, he's like, "Yeah, I was wasted."
Is it Barbara Hershey?
No.
What is that name popping out in my brain?
That's the entity. That's the.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm making shit up.
I know it, but I can't think of it.
Yeah, and then like this, I even think that this shirt that he's wearing is kind of a strange shirt. Like, it sort of looks like the Running Man outfits, like with the pattern around the shoulders and shit, but it's not like Mylar or whatever.
I
I just think it's kind
wonder
of...
if that is the story that the mother killed herself in the living room. It's like, nothing happened in the living room. She got drunk in the living room. That's about it.
Nothing happened
Block.
there. It's a shame. Yeah, well, that's probably just, it's like the game of telephone. These kids have been talking about this because this is 5 years after the first one.
Yeah.
So,
Fucking poster. Yeah, that's the craziest damn thing I've ever seen. No, it is not. That's not the craziest thing you've seen this week.
Yeah, you got attacked by a fucking lovebird
that exploded.
Not even
But
plugged
of course,
in.
he chalked that up to the cheap seed.
Yeah. That's what it is. So many things about this movie are just so wild, that I can't believe some of it made it into the finished movie. Like, I'm not hating on it by any means. I love it, but like the nightmare dogs or like the mutant rat thing, or these are all things that they just
it's
don't...
weird.
Yeah. And that gives it that nightmare quality, but it's not taking place during a nightmare.
There's no nightmare really here.
Right, so...
The nightmare sense.
I mean, you gotta... Unless he's just been asleep the whole movie. But, I don't...
Springwood Slasher is the first time it's ever said.
Yeah, and that's where they kind of allude to the child molestation.
Yeah, that they always implied, but they never said because of the stuff going on in the news headlines at the time.
Yep. So they changed it, slightly left it implied.
Because to Wes Craven, the most evil thing in the world is to harm a child.
Right. And that's definitely a reoccurring theme in his work.
That's from his real life, from reading his biography, is growing up in a broken home. And that's why all of his movies, there's never like the traditional family sense. There's always some kind of separation between the parents, or one of them is dead, and there's always something going on there where it's not a happy home life, because that was his life.
Yeah. That's from, is that Nightmares and Dreamscapes? Is that where you read that?
I got that from his biography. Do
you have Nightmares and Dreamscapes? Do you have that book? That's sort of a biography type of book.
No, I have Robert Englund's biography, and I got the one on Wes. I don't have that one.
I'll have to let you borrow that. It's not a super long read. It's basically like a magazine, but it's an awesome book about all of the films. I can't remember where it stops. I think it stops at Scream 2. And but he talks about that in there, about like with the Deadly Friend. And
is it written from his perspective?
Huh?
Is it written from his perspective, or is it someone talking about him?
It's someone talking about him with interviews of him, with him. It's pretty good, and it's got some sweet behind-the-scenes pictures and stuff. It's a quick read. I mean, it's like a half a day. You're done. You can breeze right through it. But it's definitely worth the time.
Red Door used to be blue.
Mm-hmm. Save me from Freddy.
And Bisquick Steps.
Mm-hmm. And it works. That always bothered me when I was a kid. I always thought that like everyone dreams of like not being able to run fast, you know. So that totally, you know, you're trying to get away and you're just stuck.
It's not working.
Mm-mm.
What do you think they did to get him to look? Because he is sweaty a lot. Like, do you think they just like spritzed him down with the fucking spray bottle before each shot?
I think it's
It's the sta ups.
yep, the sta up, different from the sta awake. Sta awake went out of business. Sta up is the
Awake, I think, is in the cabinet in the first one.
Yeah.
Sta up is part 2.
yeah.
It
Sta
could be.
awake. Sta awake is the name brand. Sta up is the fucking Dollar General shit.
Sta could also be a male enhancement pill too.
I think what
I
they
don't know if it's sta up.
I think what they do for movie sweat is like a mineral oil. They'll put a little mineral oil on you, and then they'll spritz you with water.
Oh,
like
so
a baby oil, and then water, so it'll immediately just roll down you.
it'll bead. It'll bead up.
Yep, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the internet will tell us if we're wrong. How do they make sweat in movies?
That's my shit right there. Grady stuffing his face.
I love it.
He's got 3 milks.
Well, you know, he's an athlete, and he's probably carb loading, so he's got like fucking.
My excuse for everything right there. I threw my grandmother down a flight of stairs.
Yep. Wrong bird.
We just come later tonight, hang out.
Man, it's like mashed potatoes. It's like a cheeseburger. There's like a fucking giant tray of fries, like a piece of cake, 3 milks. It's the best lunch ever. No problem. There's your catchphrase. See you around, buddy.
That's just hilarious to me. Mr. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. It's like we're already hitting like the beginning of the climax of the movie.
Yeah. All right, now I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for this party goer you speak of.
Okay, yeah.
That one. No.
No. Hey, you cut that out. He's been drinking 3 Cokes over there. He's trying to stay awake.
What are you going to, like, have a pool party at like 9 o'clock at night? It needs to be warm. I don't know. Maybe it's hot as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I would guess it's the end of the school year.
Yeah.
Like May. I'm waiting for her to pop up, so I'm like, there. There.
We need to get this song, too, from when they're in the cabana.
Oh, yeah.
Got to get that to jam out to.
His motorboating sequence.
Mm-hmm. She's very...
Yeah, they have their own cabana, and they have electricity to the cabana.
They're loaded, son.
Yeah, they are. But they didn't spring for her to get a car.
Yeah. Nope, that's not in the budget. You wanted a cabana, you got a cabana. You got to ride to school with the poor kid.
Yeah, she looks almost exactly the same. She has not aged a fucking day since this movie came out. It's crazy.
She has like a normal girl, beautiful. That's, she's not like, she doesn't seem like she's had like plastic surgery. She doesn't have like giant, ridiculous fake boobs or fake lips or anything. She seems like someone you would just bump into, and she's just a very pretty girl.
I I haven't noticed it before, but I guess looking at her, she kind of reminds me like she could totally be like Megan's older sister.
Yeah, see, I think that her and Megan look a lot alike. Maybe that's why I like her so much. So
And maybe that's why I just want to be your friend instead.
yeah.
No, weird. I like that one that's outside. She's got the crimped hair. I know that.
Jerry the King Lawler is who I feel like they should have had play this guy.
Oh God, he wouldn't be. He'd be hanging out. He would not be up there. He'd be out there with all the high school girls.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Swapping out the cassette.
There goes the top. That is. I always thought that was bullshit too. Now looking at there, she is. She's got the purple 2-piece.
All right, wait.
She
It's
just
gonna change. Purple 2-piece with the yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But they wheel out that crate of beer, and I was like, that's like, what, a case of beer?
Mm-hmm.
For like a whole party of high schoolers?
Well, maybe they'll split it, you know?
Yeah. If those are like Canadian beers or something, they all... I mean, who's going to get really tore up on... They're what? They're all going to have a beer?
Yeah. Well, hey, they're high school students, too. Maybe their alcohol tolerance is lower. I don't know. I have a low alcohol tolerance.
I don't have any alcohol tolerance, and I still think it takes at least 3 to kind of get where you're loosey-goosey. I was like, that's not enough beer for that party.
The giant tongue.
Yep. I got to get out of here. I got to show this to Grady.
I know that they talked about how they did that, but in the documentary, but I can't remember for the life of me whether it was just something that
and they had to roll it up. So as soon as he opened his mouth, it'd flop out, but he had to just have his mouth open the entire time when he had that put in. Because it would just roll. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that shit.
Your mouth is filled with all that spit.
Yeah. It'd have been awesome right here. He turns the light on and just unrolls that tongue at him. I need your help with this.
It's stung by a bee.
Crazy, right? You got any scissors? And man, there's never been a room more 80s, I feel, than Grady's room here with that
wallpaper and
that pleather like comforter on his bed.
You know, it's like
that
sweaty.
Wallpaper. The Stray Cats poster, the poster of Lamal.
It's like a Ferrari or a Corvette. Yeah, the Corvette behind him.
I had the Corvette poster, but the Lamal poster, that's like the dude who made the music for like a Legend or Neverending Story.
Ah.
Like it's a real obscure person. I would not picture Grady to be like, I'll take a poster of that.
Yeah, that's sort of weird. He's the jock. Baseball bats and boogeymen, you know?
Yeah, that's right. He would just have cars and women as posters in his room.
Yep. And then just like various bottles of hair gel.
I never did that either. I never did the thing where you framed your poster crooked on the wall. I was always straight up. But like if you look at some of his, they're like the Stray Cats poster is sideways. Like it's stylized. Put on the wall. I never did that.
That is sort of a weird thing. Like most people don't do that. I never noticed that until you brought that up. Like that would drive me nuts. Like fix this shit.
Nope.
Yeah.
Now.
That way when he's laying in his bed, it looks straight. You know.
Straight. Not when he was laying on his back, crazy bastard. Treasures in the floor, it's in the ceiling.
Yeah. Hey, trespass.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
That was a tremendously awesome find at the video store. That was a blind rental, and I was like, ooh, I found a good one.
I have the Good Times DVD of that. I still haven't upgraded.
I want to get, I'd love to upgrade, but I feel like that's all we buy now. I've not bought any new movies hardly. I think Ready Player One was the last new movie I bought. Everything else I buy is just upgrades of shit I already own.
Just double dipping over and over and over. But sometimes you get, like
I don't regret a single one of them, but it's just
Yeah. It's nice to add to the library, not...
replace.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm not gaining no ground here. I'm just
I'm just taking one and putting it in the basement and keeping one upstairs now.
that's what I've done. I've taken all those old copies and I'm like, well, those are basement movies now.
Yep.
Good ones upstairs.
Yeah, even that chair or couch or whatever thing he's sleeping on. You're like, you would be sweaty.
There's no way I could sleep on that. Like, his head and feet are both hanging off that thing.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather sleep on the floor. I'm a floor sleeper anyway. I do enjoy the floor. My spine sucks.
I like that. Like, I just turned the TV off. Of course it's going to happen right as I try to go back to sleep.
Right.
Grady should have been like, ugh, what?
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Bring a bottle over your head if you don't shut the
fuck up. 4,500 and... This is probably, and this still stands the test of time. This is probably one of the best effects.
It's definitely pulling from the American Werewolf, but yeah, it's awesome.
It's one of the best effects in the franchise in general. Like out of 7, 8 movies if you count the remake. It's
remake is trash.
Yeah,
trash. It's absolute trash features. Like, as far as there's like him coming out of the wall in that reboot, I was like, oh, that looks terrible. It looks so good with spandex.
Yeah. I don't see that. Like with the eye in the mouth and the lip is quivering. And
yeah.
This is just top tier effects work that not a lot of people
Mark did some of this, and Mark Shostrom does awesome stuff. Yeah. I when I watched the Never Sleep Again doc, I was so bummed for part 3 when he made that baby doll.
Yeah.
For that opening sequence that I was like, holy shit, that thing is
terrifying.
Ultra creepy. Yeah, and they didn't use it.
And then they just had that skeleton with hot glue on it and tufts of hair.
I was like, oh. I hope he still had that.
Yeah, Mark Shostrom though, man. He did stuff for Evil Dead 2, all kinds. I mean, that guy's a
totally. But I love that nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is absolute definition of what ultra nerdy looks like.
Yep.
Long, stringy blonde hair, big ass fucking glasses.
You know who he looks like? He looks like one of the dudes from X-Files that fucking helps them out.
Yeah, or like an extra in Revenge of the Nerds.
Or Garth, older Garth. He's like all of those things combined with fucking ridiculous talent. Rest in peace, Grady.
Okay, this right here.
It breaks the
I've never. I always thought, I never said this to anybody before, so I was curious if anyone else thought this too. He's crying about Grady dying, but I always thought, ever since I watched it for the first time, he puts his finger up and he's waving, going, no. He's like, no, laugh. And he's forcing him to laugh as opposed to cry. Like, he wants to cry, but I feel like Freddy's controlling him a bit there and forcing him to actually laugh.
That's an interesting take. I never thought of that.
Man, I always thought that. So it's fun. It's fun to see other people who see that differently than I do. I always just took that as like, no, I'm making you laugh about this. I killed him, which made it seem like you killed him, and it's funny.
Mm-hmm. That is very interesting.
Thank you.
I don't think I'll ever watch that the same. That's a bummer. And that's that goes with everything that Freddy was known for in those early movies.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
taking absolute pleasure in tormenting somebody.
because he could have killed these guys anytime he wanted to. He could have done it anytime, but
That's not fun. That's not the point.
And Mark's acting right here. I mean, I have the volume down and I'm reading the subtitles, but just
Oh yeah, he looks like shell shocked.
his mannerisms,
Like his little jittery shakes and
yeah, and people say horror movies are trash or whatever. People say that it's campy, and yeah, some of the themes and stuff can be, but it's the only genre where you have people who have great comedic timing, who have to do like action stuff, also have to be scared. They do every genre in one movie, and in this one scene he's just spilling it out. It's amazing.
and aside from realistic horror stuff like this, you have to convey shit that is never going to happen in real life.
Right.
He's got to sell us on everything. There she is. Everything that is going on there.
Your girlfriend.
Yeah, I always thought I like her. That's the epitome of a 1980s teenager girl.
Got a little bit of gel or something in the hair.
Oh, that's all crimp stuff. That's all that crimp stuff.
Yep. the exploding wiener man.
Oh, we should do something.
That dude with that chef hat, for some reason, it always made me think of
generic beer.
Just white cans with beer.
This is beer on the cans.
Makes me think of Tony Hawk from Gleaming the Cube for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's like those shorts or something. I don't know.
I always wonder if that was the hat that he brought to that party, or if that was a hat that was with the barbecue grill.
You fucker. I got stuck in my throat.
I'm going to run the grill. How you know they're going to have a grill, Rocky? Man, they always got a grill. They got a cabana. They got to have a grill.
Or maybe he wheeled that grill there.
He's like beer cans there too.
I'm Grill Master Rocky, man. Like, everybody knows he's like, you bringing the grill? Fuck yeah, dude.
Nobody cooks a hot dog like Rocky does.
Yeah, and this radio flyer fucking wagon with one bag of ice and 11 beers, because I drank one while I was pulling it to the house.
It's like that dude in Halloween 5 stealing all the beer out of the back of that convenience store. He's like, don't drink it all before the party starts. I'm like, you fucking idiot.
That's just lazy writing.
Like, shit. Andre the Giant. No one's going to, in the course of an evening, drink 65 beers and live to tell about it.
Yeah. No shit. Not even Mikey could drink 65 beers. And that guy was cool.
Yeah, there you can see that makeup looks awesome. That is some rad shit, creepy shit.
Yeah.
He ain't telling no jokes.
No, he's very disturbing in this climax. And then when she's sticking him with the knife and he's just taking it, you're just like, oh, God.
Or that Robert Englund has a thing for wearing gray undershirts.
Yeah. Well, that's just, that's part of the uniform. That's like Michael Myers always has a gray or like a charcoal color underneath the jumpsuit, until later movies when they had bullshit people playing him, and then it was like a white shirt or a black shirt.
It's getting too hot. So that's a heated pool.
Also, yeah, they're rich as fuck. You need to look up the price of a heated pool. 1985.
Springwood, Ohio. Like, if I get an in-ground pool that's heated and a cabana.
Did they just forget to take that cake outside to the party? because it's a birthday. Do they just not have?
These guys out there, I should do something.
I
Shit,
always wondered.
behind her. Behind her, there's like a lineup. There's like a heavy-duty liquor cabinet behind her.
Mm-hmm. That's all rich people got a giant liquor cabinet.
Yeah, I don't know about that cake though.
Yeah, that's sort of a weird thing. Maybe they made extras, you know. You don't know, honey. Maybe we'll make 2 or 3 in case extra people show up, you know.
I feel like that's just something like that. The mom bought extra. She's like, maybe they'll like cake, and then and like the dad's like purposely trying to distract her to not take it out to the party so he can eat the cake the next day. Like, oh, we forgot about the cake.
So we could sneak down at like 2 a.m. and eat some fucking cake.
That's a me move right there. I was like, oh shit, don't serve that to the kids. We'll eat that later.
Nuh-uh, fool. That's the baby's lunch. I love his face right there.
Yeah.
Like really gnarly color scheme. You know, it's a lot darker.
Bit of purple in there too.
Yeah, like it's almost like there was your girlfriend.
Yep.
But
Boobs.
like veins. It's almost like a vein color showing through.
I always like this dude that's like covering up, walking up to check out the broken glass.
With the little nerd with his glasses.
Yeah, the one that ain't wearing his shirt. It's like, I should have wore his shirt.
It's cold out here.
Get the hell out of here. Wait a minute. I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
Rip in peace. Yeah, and then if he's in the real world, how come he can do that? How can he make... he's got the pool is on fire. How can he make the fence electric? Like you said, they're just rewriting the rules because they're...
It'd been cool. I totally could see if they remade this movie today that we would see Freddy doing this, but they would show like a perspective of the kids, and they would see Mark Patton's character running around doing this.
Right.
That guy right there.
Just step on his face. Oh, that guy with his guts hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah, that dude. That dude always. That dude's still wearing the hat. But like, yeah, this dude's rolling up, and it's like he's talking to Mark Patton right now.
Yeah.
Maybe like you black out his eyes, like he just has black spaces, you know, black eyes, like a doll's eyes.
The devil's eyes. Help yourself, fucker. Gah. Yeah, now, do you think that guy's dead? Is that guy dead? Because he just got thrown and hit the grill.
Well, yeah, he just bounced off a barbecuer. He's fine.
Okay, so 9 dead bodies. I was counting him. I was counting him because he took a bump, but
blew up the fruit tray.
That guy's a terrible shot. God. You know, I mean, as much as stuff about this scene doesn't work, it's still incredibly fun. It's fun. It's the first time, I think, in the franchise that it's a scene that's supposed to be ultra terrifying, and it's not tremendously. I don't know. I always felt that even way back then. It's like, it's hard to really convey that at a pool party because he is really outnumbered. Yeah, it's not like a dude with a power drill or a chainsaw. Like if you have a chainsaw and you run through a pool party, you know, and you know people are running and freaking out. That even a dude with a butcher knife would be terrifying. But I mean, the numbers game
you could still take that guy out.
You would. There'd be a little bit of bravado involved, but
There's no, I don't know. This, I guess, the odds being in their favor, I guess, takes the fear out of that.
Mm-hmm. That's probably what makes that just not work so well. Because it seems like, yeah, like you said, like there's those fucking dogs.
Blind dogs, they can't see shit. They got these fucking glued to their head. And again, I could never tell what the hell that was back then, but now I could see. I thought this always looked cool. Like they lit this shot here really well.
Yeah, with
like with it way back and how everything's lit.
Yeah, it's got blues and greens and reds, and it's got that. It's that sweet.
It looks like industrial shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're shooting Freddy's Nightmares right now.
Yeah, that's exactly. Those lights go to the Freddy's Nightmares set. Yeah.
Straight from Nightmare 4.
I love the way Nightmare 4 looks, man.
I do too. But man, I will always associate green neon lights with Nightmare 4.
Mm-hmm. Well, it ain't Dr. Seuss.
I got a green neon clock in my bedroom, and I always think that's the Elm Street 4 clock because it's this bright fucking green. You know, like I just associate that color with that movie. Mm-hmm. And that was my first movie too. It's part 4.
That's my favorite in the franchise, other than Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Yeah, I love part 4, even though I know it's got shortcomings, like it has no story, but I don't care.
I mean, shit. 4 is my first. I love 4. 1, 2, and 3 are their own beast. I absolutely love the first 3. 5 was the first one I got to see in the theater, so I always have a thing for 5. I got to see 6 with my dad at the drive-in, in 3D at the drive-in, and he took me to see part 7 at the theater too. So I love all these things.
It's such a fun, like, diverse franchise, you know?
Yeah, and they tackle shit in different hard shit in all of them. Like this one, you're dealing with, the possibility of being gay and what that's going to mean. And part 3, you're dealing with teen suicide. Yeah. Part 5, you got, pregnancy.
Yeah,
and abortion, which, as weird as I am, as soon as I found out we were pregnant, I just was thankfully like, well, I'm going to just watch Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. Mm-hmm. I was like, maybe I can figure something out about how to handle this by watching somebody else deal with it.
Yep. And that's the weird thing about being a horror fan is you associate movies with certain things or certain like periods in your life, and it helps to make you like, at least for me, like I can watch a movie and I can be reminded of a time that was simpler, or be reminded of a problem that I faced and how I handled it. It's weird. Like I can't watch fucking High Fidelity or some normal ass movie. I can't watch Turner and Hooch.
I can watch Turner and Hooch anyway.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But I mean, I can't.
You're not going to throw on Major Pain
and overcome some sort of
like eat this shit. You could tie like for us. I mean, I could tie like my favorite toys of the time. I could tie, events going on in my life when I first saw these things, or really good times I had, and I had these on in the background.
Yep, it's like a time capsule.
Done since then, yeah, and shit I've done since then. That's like, oh, I know that guy from this movie now. Mm-hmm. That makes it even radder.
For sure. It gives the movie substance, not just on a screen, but in your life. And that's a hard thing to try to explain to people who are not movie people.
So or look at horror movies and people that watch them as evil people, sinister people.
I'm going through some of that shit right
All
now.
the time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it means to be a horror fan.
And man, would I love to take those people and send them to a convention so
Yeah.
they could be like, you're not going to find nicer fucking people in your life that
Mhm.
look more evil and sinister than you'll ever find, but you will not find nicer fucking people ever.
And that is true. That is a true fucking story, man.
And my best example of that is like that year that I bought a T-shirt of The Gate, and I think you were with me. We were up in one of the rooms,
That was the year
like
Derek was there.
and there's like 4 guys, like tough looking dudes who any other time I'd be like, well, I don't want to bother these guys. These guys look, they look like they can handle themselves. But they're like, hey, The Gate. And something about The Gate. And I'm like, oh yeah, you don't get that anywhere else. You're never gonna get.
Nope. It's just like a weird little unspoken bond that you have with people. And then when they see that someone else shares it, then like it's almost like you instantly become friends because you have common ground.
Yep.
It doesn't involve politics, doesn't involve sexuality, anything. It just involves your mutual love for the genre. I always, not to get off track, but I always loved this melting.
Yeah, and they only had one bowl to that too, so it was like, don't fuck it up.
Yeah. Don't fuck this up, Mitchell.
Make sure that camera is actually rolling.
You and I both know that there's no film in this camera.
I'm trying to think what that dude does in fuck. I can't think of the title. The David Naughton movie that you told me to watch. That
Brutal Massacre.
Yeah, Brutal Massacre. Where it's like, did you get it? And he's like, no, I need one more. I'm like, oh, I thought that meant you got it.
I thought you meant this meant you're number one. No, this mean one more. Since when? Since always.
Yeah.
And the nipple was out of focus. So tastefully done.
And then the killer was in another house.
Yeah, that's the best ever. We should just do a VCast like that. And the VCast started next week.
I always like the cinema snob when he would do like Friday the 13th Part 6 and Tommy Jarvis gets locked up in the jail and he instantly cuts straight to the credits.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
The end. He does the false ending thing so well.
Yes, he does. He does that perfectly. I fucking love it every time. I wish he would do it I would never get tired of it.
Yeah. It's like the best running gag ever.
That and Bushwhacked.
Yeah. Bushwhacked. That has become that's just part of everyday life now. Saying bushwhacked because of that episode. Something happens that's not that funny and you go, bushwhacked.
I still remember his order. He walks into that convenience store. He's like, a pack of Marlboros, a jumbo Coke, and a pack of Snowballs.
That face he makes.
Walking down the street eating a big ass snowball.
Those things are terrible. Or at least
that movie actually got me to try snowballs, and I do enjoy a snowball.
I haven't had one since I was a kid. I remember them not tasting good. Are they like coconut?
Yeah,
I like coconut. Coconut
it's like,
and like a
essentially it's like a cupcake,
with
but instead of
marshmallow.
the top, it's a marshmallow coconut like hat.
I see. Well, maybe we'll revisit them in 2 weeks. And here we are at the finale.
He has to ride the bus because his hands are burnt up.
He can't put the deadly dinosaur in drive.
Yeah. Because what do you think? That party was Friday. This is Monday.
Yeah, he should be in the hospital, one would assume. And everyone's pretty chill for everyone dying on Friday night.
Yeah, her to lean forward and go, that was a really great party, Lise. Like, You're
Yeah.
already having levity about this. Like, I think they would cancel school for at least a couple days.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty that's that's a pretty good observation.
Remember, your principal loves you, and there's no criminal investigation going on for who did all this shit. Like, so you're telling me some burnt up dude slaughtered like 5 children at your house and then walked through a gate?
And you're going to school on Monday.
I like they just bought the story of like, so he just walked through a fence.
Yep.
Tried to shoot him, but you didn't shoot him. You're free to go.
Yeah. And
They're like, I think Clu Gulliger must work for the police force too. Like, well, that's the fucking strangest story I've heard all week. Yeah, 5 dead kids. No idea who killed them.
that is the story of Elm Street 2. That's the strangest damn movie I've seen all week. So, that is Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
That is, as the whole story starts again.
They ride off into the desert.
Do-gooder, Brian Wimmer.
Do-gooder. That's the help yourself fucker.
Yeah, I always go through the credits. Make fun of names.
See if you could spot the purple bikini girl. And then we'll Facebook stalk her like a couple of fucking weirdos.
Yeah, they're like, can you come to con? Like, there's no lines in that. Like, I got paid in scale and a T-shirt.
Yeah, you got to eat lunch.
Yeah, my per diem was the fruit tray that the dad blows up with a shotgun at the end of the scene.
Maybe she snuck off with that swamp cooler, though. You never know.
Swamp cooler!
Metal.
Oh,
We need T-shirts. Swamp cooler T-shirts.
there's a... Gosh, where do we start on that one? If we're going to do a Friday the 13th, which one do we start with there?
Four, please. Four.
4?
Yes.
So I'm like, 6, 7, no 8.
So, we're going to wrap this up because we've been going for a little over an hour and a half now.
Yeah,
That
that's a feature film commentary track. First one.
That was our very first commentary track. If any of you sat through it, let us know what you thought of it.
I'm hoping somebody had this set up and then had a tablet or something set up next to it and volume off, and they're just just going back and forth. And like, huh.
Hey, we can hope. I hope that you enjoy what we're doing and you let us know other movies you'd like us to do because, hey, we love to do this. We look for this excuse to digitally hang out.
That's all this really is. This is like, yeah, we're going to record it. Like, this is just a bullshit excuse so we can just talk about a fucking movie. And mainly also today because we're all sick and we could not actually hang out in real life. So this is the best we can do most of the time is reach out this way because we're states apart. Heaven forbid what the world would even be in store for if we actually were within walking distance of each other.
So within the next couple of weeks, be on the lookout for a very fun audio commentary that Evildeadinks and I are going to be doing. But in the meantime, there will be one more VCast in between the crazy commentary that we have coming. So
that's on a movie I've never seen before either. I've not seen that movie, and I'm going to hold on until I do.
I cannot wait for that. So
What's up, Pam has got some facts for us. She's going to drop in on that too, and let us know some things that go in very well with that.
It's going to be amazing. So if there is a movie you want us to review, drop it in the comments. Hit the little bell. So you know when we're dropping videos. We do 3, sometimes 4 videos a week. We try our best to give you an insight into the horror community and let you know what movies are coming out, what we've been up to. We play the Friday the 13th game every week.
Yeah, we play. I stream every Tuesday night, and the video goes up every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. So,
every Wednesday, highlights of our game footage, which we just today decided to up our game on that, and we turned the volumes completely off on that game. So we never know when Jason's showing up. So we've made that game even scarier than it has been before, because now we're looking over our shoulders every second because I don't know where that fucker is.
And he actually killed me like a bunch today. So that's leveling the playing field even for new Jasons. You know, even if they're the early levels, they're still catching us. So it's exciting, and I'm glad that you figured that out so we can do that. So
that's what having a cold and not being able to fall asleep till 5 a.m. will get you is screwing around on Friday the 13th the game. You're like, what would happen if I took the volume completely out of it and went back to play? Oh, I never know where Jason is, and I'll never hear him coming until it's too late. I've got to listen about this immediately.
Yes, so that is something that's happening. More more movie reviews. We'll be doing more commentaries. We're gonna do.
I like doing these. This was awesome. I love doing this.
This is a good time. So
I may just force you to do another weekday of dropping shit where we just do movie review commentary.
Hey, whatever's clever, man. My calendar's open, so.
Mine's always open for any of the movies that we watch on a regular basis, like Elm Street, Friday the 13th, any of the Halloweens, House.
It's gonna be a good minute before I watch another Halloween movie, because I gotta ease back in after that marathon. But we're gonna wrap this up, and we will see you, internet fans, next week. So, because after all, there's a lot of movies out there. Somebody's got to watch them. So why not us, right?
I'm still grounded. Threw Grandma down a flight of stairs.
Damn it.
I'll shut up now. You want me to shut up? I'll shut up. I'll see you later, buddy.